Carl not to stand because he makes me look extremely short. Today's kind of a special day in our town, besides it being Good Friday. But our first ever CAO is walking out the door today into a retirement. Been talking to Carl a lot over the last year. He's been going over a lot of different things. I know a lot of folks have. There's a lot of folks in this room that have kind of been to Karl Stinehart University. You know, it's a standard answer to many a question here at Town Hall. When there's a question, the answer is always, well, ask Karl. And, well, Karl's retiring today, and we wish him the very, very, very best. And we always have a couple of affectionate names we call Karl, but the one that most of us select when we call him Clip. Why do we call him Clip? Because we were at a Mass Municipal Conference a few years ago, and Paula Poundstone was the Saturday evening act, and somehow they got to Karl, and they said, well, what do you do? And he says, oh, I'm the CAO, Chief Administrative Officer. And she goes, well, what's that? Are you like, and he kind of tried to explain, she goes, basically you're in charge of all the paper clips, correct? And I've been known after a select board meeting to walk through Karl's office and sprinkle a few clips on his blotter on my way out the door. Yes. Every selectmen's meeting. But symbolically, to me, Karl's really been the clip that's kind of held this operation together for the better part of 35 years. He's been the only person that's had this role in our town since inception. 250 years we've had one CAO. Karl's name is not on the incorporation papers for the town of Southwick. Right? So it's a big loss for the town. It's a big, but a momentous day for Karl, for, and the turnout here today by the number of friends and family, ginormous family, that came from afar, and folks that have been here, that work in town, that live in town, that work in town, that came out to feed Karl today, says a lot about the man that he is. And for the record, we started negotiating on this retirement, was originally going to be pizza in the garage. Karl's position. The retirement committee position was somewhat more grander, so we settled right about here. But I want to thank everyone for coming out today to celebrate Karl. And Karl, you've been the CAO for 35 years. I think you told me 20 selectmen. So poor man's had 20 bosses at least in 35 years. And to work under those adverse conditions, especially knowing some of the selectmen you worked for, including myself, God bless you. 20. Are there any other former select board members now we're called? They used to be called selectmen in the room. Raise your hand.
Men were men.
So I know one of them came all the way from.
Jason's over there.
Far, yeah, I see him in the back there. Hello, Jason. So I've got a couple things to present, and we'll go through those now. Karl, the first thing I have is a proclamation from none other than. Excellent guess there, Mom. Governor Healy. Mo. It's early, Mo. To Karl J. Stinehart. We made sure that we had one with the J. On behalf of the residents of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I am pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation in recognition of your 35 years of dedicated service to the town of Southwick as Chief Administrative Officer. We commend your steadfast efforts to your community and wish you the best in your future endeavors. This 29th day of March in the year 2024, and it is signed, Mo, by Maura Healy and Governor and Kimberly Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor.
All right.
And if I may, before I introduce the next person, on a personal note, when I moved to town 20 few years ago, about the third person I met in town was Karl Stinehart. You were in the old was now the police department, was the old town hall, and he gladly showed me, I was looking at a house, and he gladly pointed out on a map to me to make sure that there wasn't an airport or a nuclear power plant or railroad tracks or something nearby, and had the big print of where Route 57 was going to show up in the town of Southwick. But through my time on the planning board and then through 3 terms on the select board, you've been a steady hand. I can always count on you as the voice of reason and confidence, and the man with all the answers. And I want to just thank you for being my friend and mentor. So before I completely fall apart, I'd like to invite Senator Marks up.
And to make it together.
You'd like to do it together?
Of course.
And Representative Baldiga. Senator Marks came about all the way from Canada to be here today.
We've made some room behind the table.
Get out.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry. I'll start.
There we go. Yeah, so I actually met Karl when I first moved to Southwick as well. My wife and I purchased a home here, and I was 25 years old, and decided to volunteer in Southwick, and was appointed to the Park and Rec Committee. Was my first position here, and Karl was at that meeting where I was appointed to it. So I've been able to work with Karl as a member of the Park and Rec Committee, as a member of the Select Board, and now as my current position as a state representative here in Massachusetts. And every step of the way, I can honestly say Karl had words of encouragement. I looked to him for guidance. He knows everything when it comes to whatever position you're working in, and he delivers all of that with a sense of respect and encouragement that most other people I've never met do. And every time you ask him something, it's he's trying to help you in the best way that he can, giving you the tools that you need to succeed, and thinking of no one else except how to best promote you in your capacity. We had a lot of fun in all those positions. I had a lot of fun as a select board member. We had a lot of great meetings, and in every one of those, I was always impressed with how Karl always kept his composure, and most other people could not and did not. So that always impressed me about Karl. He's a consummate professional no matter what's being talked about in the current moment, the prior moment, or the future moments, and knows how to maintain composure in very difficult situations and always be the professional in the room. So I've always looked to him, and a lot of times I've said, well, what would Karl Stinehart do right now? And it's probably not what I'm doing. And so I've always appreciated working with him. Wish him all the best in his future. And I have a proclamation here on behalf of the House of Representatives. And before I go on to read this, I do want to say there's several other governor's proclamations floating around. Apparently, it wasn't just the town that contacted him; it was myself and contacted the governor, myself and a number of people. So we have one without a middle initial, one where your name is spelled incorrectly, one where you don't have the last name on. I think it just says "Go get him, Karl." So you can pick the gamut of governor's proclamations after today. We'll show them all to you. You can choose whichever, or take them all. They're all yours. So on behalf of the Massachusetts House of Representatives, it's my distinct privilege and honor to recognize you with this proclamation. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Karl Stinehart in 35 years of exemplary service as Southwick's town administrator. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors.
So they say you've been doing this for 35 years. Did you start when you were 10?
Young kid.
So I'm Paul Markin, the state senator for Southwick and 56 other cities and towns in Berkshire, Franklin, Hampshire, and Hampden counties. And I get to interact with a lot of towns, a lot of communities, and a lot of town officials. And I am not exaggerating when I say, without a doubt, this is one of the 3 best-run communities in this district and in Western Massachusetts. And I think that says a lot about the type of work that you've been doing. It says a lot about the fact that you're also a Suffolk University alumni. And I didn't know you had been doing this for 35 years, though. is in that you were the only person in this position. So the town is either in for a big surprise, or you better disappear quickly because they're going to realize it wasn't only you. But I think they're going to realize that there's really big shoes to fill. And so I'm honored to be invited here to offer you also a citation from the Massachusetts Senate. And it's similarly worded, but nonetheless. In the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Karl J. Stinehart in recognition of your 35 years of dedicated service as the Chief Administrative Officer for the town of Southwick, and be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. Signed by President of the Senate Karen E. Spilka, attested to by Clerk of the Senate Michael D. Hurley, and offered by Senator Paul Mark on this 29th day of March 2024. Thank you for your service and congratulations.
Can I have the remaining fire commissioners join me at the front, please? That's you and you. Yeah, Diane and Jason. You are also fire commissioners, police commissioners, road commissioners, dog hearing officers. And can I have Fire Chief Stefanowitz?
We don't have a proclamation to read, except a presentation for a true chief of the department who's retiring. So we've got his retirement helmet. Yeah, there you go. Put that on top of the counter. Every Zoom meeting, I should say every Zoom meeting. I just want to say that this is a man, first of all, who's obviously led all of us, but think about the secrets he has. 35 years of town administrator, there are some secrets. And I just want to thank you for your leadership, for everybody here. We're all followers, and we appreciate you leading the way every single time. Thank you.
Thank you. That about concludes our ceremony for today, but I wish that everyone could just stand and just beat Karl for one more minute. Thank you. Karl.
Well, I'm very happy to be here today. I feel very honored to be here. I know it's been a long run. I'm very appreciative of it. I'm appreciative of my family, which comes first, family first, and all the people I got to work with on the different boards and committees, and my friends and all of you. You made me just as knowledgeable as I hoped I had worked with you. So it was a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. We learn from each other. We grow with each other. And we love each other. So I thank everybody for coming. Have a good day.